9 weeks history. Let's go. Nothing for the champ.
What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with the most recent physique update from Terrence, the second most experienced guy in this year's Olympia lineup after Brian. And he's the only guy in classic physique who has won the Arnold twice. Now I do not remember Terrence ever having this much hype behind him leading into the show while he was in prep for the Olympia. Because Chris Bumstead, the champ at that time, he had this persona about him that people just thought he's totally unbeatable. And that was actually true. I mean, Chris Bumstead went out on the top of his game. Now Terrence is that guy who is like the epitome of what classic physique should be. Plus the man is so complete and so polished front to back, top to bottom. And the fact is, he's the only guy who has more room to grow even now out of all of those Olympia top 6 or even top 10. And that is why so many people out there, they have this opinion that Terrence is the one who is gonna be the biggest rival for Mike Sommerfeld come Olympia this year. Now obviously in that ideal case scenario, Terrence would love to have bigger arms, more bicep peaks, plus bare hamstrings in those side shots. Other than that, his physique is pretty damn complete. I mean, the way he moves and presents himself on the stage, that is like picture perfect. One of the best posers in the entire pro league at the moment. And this Olympia version of Terrence, that is gonna be undoubtedly the most muscular version that we have ever seen from him since 2016. Because that is exactly what's gonna take from him to win this year's Olympia title, or at the very least, fight for the top spot. So Terrence now is just a totally different physique compared to what we saw back in 2023. And even that one was good enough to land him in the top 5. So Terrence at his best, he has all the tools to win this year's Olympia, and the man is 100% focused. Before you scroll or blink too hard, have you subscribed yet? Please don't make me bring out the emotional blackmail. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon. It's free, it's painless, and that makes me look way cooler than I actually am. So Samson as the reigning Olympia champion, losing his first show as an Olympia champion, which was this past Arnold, that did take out a chunk out of his armor, that he's going to be a very strong Olympia champion. And he did lose some of his hype, because if we look back at all the predictions leading into this year's Arnold, Ohio, nobody out there believed that Derek will come out and win this show, especially after him placing 3rd at the Olympia last year. And the man just took out the champion. So here is a very interesting question. Would Samson have been in a much better position had he just skipped this year's Arnold and just focused on the Olympia? And I am talking about purely in terms of hype. I think 100% yes he would have been. Because him missing his mark at the Arnold this year, that did put a question mark on his ability to be very consistent with the conditioning aspect. And that is the reason why so many experts out there, they feel like that this is a very open Mr. Olympia. But that being said, make no mistake, almost 99% of the experts out there, they have this opinion that if Samson is able to come in shredded and absolutely ripped, if he brings his all-time best conditioning, that is his show to lose, and he's gonna be a very hard champion to dethrone. Now, fact of the matter is, there isn't even a single mandatory shot that is a weak shot on Samson Dauda. If we look at his most recent training updates, the man looks pretty damn huge, very round, but at the same time, I'm gonna say pretty damn lean too. Especially for 8.5 weeks out. The midsection is also looking super tight, and the vacuum is gonna be in full swing at this upcoming Mr. Olympia. So looking back at the history of the Olympia, since 2018, only one guy, Big Ramy, was the one who won the Olympia twice in a row. And we have had a new Mr. Olympia champion every single year. So what do you guys think are the chances that Samson is gonna be 2 times champion come October this year? So at this current pace, Michael Krizo is gonna be show ready till the Olympia this year, and we are all again gonna be wondering, why he just could not have dieted for one more week after the New York Pro, because we all know he could have easily won this year's Cali Pro show against Regan Grimes, and then he could have dived into this off-season, make some improvements, and then do the Olympia and Prague. Nevertheless, this is him today at 297 pounds. And yes, that makes Krizo one of the biggest guys in the current men's open lineup. And the man legit is a freak of nature. Probably one of the biggest freaks after Nick Walker and possibly Nexzilla. Now as fans, we will always be very thankful to Michael Krizo that he made that switch to the IFBB Pro League, because he would have been absolutely killing the competition in the Elite Pro League, and there simply would not have been any motivation for him to get better, to improve, because he was just head and shoulders above the whole competition in that division. So the chest, the shoulders and the arms, those are some of the best on Krizo in the entire men's open. And the one thing that goes massively in Krizo's favor, that is his age, as the man is just 33 or maybe 34 years old. So he has plenty of time to make all of those necessary improvements to bring up all the lagging body parts, especially his back, which at this point is the biggest factor kind of holding him back from moving up in those Olympia placings. But do not forget that Krizo was top 7 in the world with that same back, actually with a worse back, about 2 years back. And we know he came in more ribbed and more detailed this time at the New York Pro compared to back in 2023. So George Farah did a wonderful job with him. So by now we can confidently say that the back is never gonna be a strong body part on Krizo. It's just how his genetics are. But if he can just hit those back shots a little right, and if he can open up properly, that is going to make one hell of a difference in both the back shots. So the competitors out there, they can claim whatever they want. For instance, the mutant Nick Walker saying that he's gonna be in that top 3 and arguably win the Olympia this year. Derek in his latest YouTube video saying that he's winning this thing in 9 weeks time. Hadi keep on saying that he's bringing his all-time best. At the end of the day, all that matters is who shows up at his all-time best, at his 100% on the day of the prejudging. But regarding comments saying that Derek doesn't stand a chance, I'm gonna be very harsh here and say it's pretty dumb actually. He has literally won every major bodybuilding title that there is to win. I mean, he just beat the reigning Olympia champion in March. And newsflash, his degraded look, which wasn't his best, at the Pittsburgh Pro against the Mutant, which by the way was the all-time best of the Mutant, that was still good enough for the judges to give him the title there. So how he is not an Olympia title contender, that is simply absurd. And people saying simply because he doesn't have enough separation in his biceps. I mean, there isn't even a single IFBB Pro out there who doesn't have any weaknesses. You can say the same thing about the Mutant, having a big midsection or not being very aesthetic. Hadi Chopin for having a weak lower back. Samson Dauda not having enough density in the back and not being ribbed enough. Now you can go down the list and pick apart every single bodybuilder right now, and even looking at the past as well. It's going to be that same trend. Yes, the odds of Derek beating his Arnold Ohio look, they aren't very high at this point, simply because we have been told time and time again that peaking for 3 different shows in the same calendar year, which are stretched months apart, that is very difficult. But the question is, what if it does? At the end of the day, we all wanna see all the top 5 bring their all-time best, and may the best man win. So a big shout out to Pitalis Muscle Media for posting this comparison of Stephane Matala. So classic versus open, and this right here is a perfect representation of how the weight in classic physique that is destroying the real potential of so many physiques. And I can say that Ramondino and Orsk Lashinsky, they both fall in that same category, because all they're doing at this point is restricting their growth to where their physiques actually wanna go. But this picture right here just shows the mind-blowing transformation made by Stephane in about 1.5 years. And it is just so crazy to see how much muscle and pop he was sacrificing to make that weight cut off. So the classic picture, that must be right before one of the shows that Stephane did last year, maybe Portugal Pro. And by that point, he would have lost a lot of his roundness and pop and his wow factor. Now, irrespective of where he lands, at his men's open debut, which is happening in September, this will be a men's open debut to really look forward to, and the physique that is currently under construction by him and his coach Patrick, that is going to be head and shoulders above his look from Classic Physique. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.